All right, so get this. We're diving into this YouTube video, and it's promising like the holy grail for entrepreneurs, guaranteed funding for your small
Oh,
business.
wow.
Yeah, free shelf corporations, big money promises. It's kind of giving me those like too good to be true vibes.
Yeah, it definitely sounds a bit intriguing, to say the least.
Right,
We're going to need to put on those critical thinking caps for this one
for sure.
and really, break down these claims, see if they actually, hold water.
Yeah, and more importantly, what questions should you be asking
Exactly.
before you, jump headfirst into something like this?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the video starts off pretty strong, really honing in on that pain point that I think a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with, not having a fundable business and maybe not even knowing where to start.
Right. It's a pretty classic tactic. Play on those common fears and then, position yourself as like having the solution.
Hmm.
But the big question is, are they really offering like a genuine lifeline? Or is this just, some cleverly disguised smoke and mirrors?
Right, that's what we're here to unpack.
Exactly.
So right off the bat, they lay down these two golden rules of business funding. Rule number one, you got to have a fundable business to get funding. Okay, I mean, seems pretty obvious, but all right, I'm following.
Yeah, classic setup, right? Lay down like this seemingly undeniable truth.
And
Oh,
then bam, hit them with rule number two. The fastest and easiest way to become fundable is, get this, through a shelf corporation.
oh, wow.
And not just any shelf corporation, one that you get through a grant. Now that's where my ears perked up. Like, is it really that simple?
Well, I guess first we have to like unpack what a shelf corporation even is, right? Just so we're all on the same page.
Totally. So the video describes it as basically a pre-existing, ready-to-go business, just kind of waiting to be dusted off and put into action.
Right.
They compare it to like buying a move-in ready house. Skip all that construction hassle.
Yeah, the analogy, I mean, it works on a certain level, right?
Yeah.
Because self-corporations are actually legitimate entities.
Okay.
They've just been, formed and left inactive, sometimes for years. But here's the thing, the age alone, it doesn't actually guarantee funding.
Right.
It's not like a fine wine that just, gets more valuable over time. There are other factors at play.
Interesting. And that's where this video goes from intriguing to hold on a second.
What happened?
They make this like massive claim, guaranteed funding of at least $100,000. Potentially way more. They even throw around figures like $1 to $3 million.
Wow, that's a pretty bold claim, especially in, the world of business funding.
Right. Now, what's interesting is that this whole guarantee wasn't just some like marketing gimmick.
Oh,
They were actually investigated by the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, for this very claim.
okay.
And the video host almost brags about coming out of that audit unscathed, no fines, nothing. They really play up that whole we're the good guys, not like those shady scammers kind of thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty strategic move to build credibility, there's no doubt. But even with, the FTC's stamp of approval, I think a healthy dose of skepticism is still, warranted here.
Right.
I mean, a guarantee is a pretty bold statement. So how exactly are they pulling this off?
Okay, so they go on to break down what makes these shelf corporations so fundable. It's like a whole package deal. A business plan, financial projections, credit boosting services to get you to that like magical 700 plus credit score. They even give you a unique commercial address and a lease agreement. They make a big deal about that. And then all the legal stuff like LLC formation, IN number, the whole 9 yards.
So it sounds like each piece of this package is carefully chosen to kind of address those, classic lender requirements, the 3 C's of credit.
Ah, yes. The 3 C's. You think our listeners are already pretty familiar with, credit history, collateral, and capacity. Should we dive a little deeper into those?
I think, yeah, it would be helpful to, unpack those a little bit.
Okay. So their big claim is that this Shelf Corp program tackles all 3 C's simultaneously, which is where they get that confidence in the funding guarantee.
Right. Essentially, they're trying to present a seemingly low-risk, highly attractive borrower to lenders.
Got it. So for collateral, they transfer $100,000 in accounts receivable. That's money that's owed to the business, right? Which can be turned into like immediate cash.
Yeah, exactly. They're basically injecting instant collateral to make the business look, more financially stable.
Okay, that makes sense. And then for capacity, the ability to, actually repay the loan, they talk about making daily deposits into your business bank account. And they say this boosts your bank rating and makes your financials look really good.
Right. It's a way to create that kind of illusion of a thriving business with consistent cash flow.
I see.
But I think we really need to, dig a little deeper into where these deposits are actually coming from and what kind of strings might be attached.
Right, right. And this is where they introduce this whole concept of like 3 buckets of money.
3 buckets.
Yeah, so bucket one is the actual loan amount, what you initially set out to get.
Okay, so the core funding.
Exactly. Then bucket two is cash from liquidating that transferred accounts receivable, the collateral boost.
So they're leveraging existing assets to generate, immediate capital.
Mm-hmm. And last but not least, bucket three. Working capital from those daily deposits, they call this an opportunity fund. Sounds like a pretty sweet deal, right?
Oh, absolutely. From a cash-strapped entrepreneur's perspective, I mean, it sounds very alluring.
Yeah,
But as we always say, the devil's in the details, right?
right.
So we really need to kind of uncover what the long-term implications of this are. Are there any hidden fees or obligations that we're not seeing?
Yeah, that's a great point. Now, here's where things get even more interesting.
Okay.
They emphasize that this whole program is ultimately free, thanks to, you guessed it, a grant that reimburses the cost of the Shelf Corporation after you secure the funding. But, and you knew there was a but,
There's always a but, right?
you have to pay $1,000 up front at enrollment.
Interesting. So not free right away, but potentially free down the line.
Exactly. It's a clever way to frame it, don't you think?
It definitely raises some questions, why the upfront fee if it's eventually going to be reimbursed, and what are the conditions tied to that reimbursement?
Right, right. And then during the Q&A, they actually address a couple of practical points. Initially, the Shelf Corporation is set up for, get this, management consulting.
Oh,
But they say you can change that to match your actual industry. Or you can transfer the funds to another entity altogether. And they also say you can buy multiple shelf corporations if you want.
okay. So addressing these practicalities kind of gives the illusion of, transparency, like they're anticipating potential concerns.
Right.
But it also begs the question, what are the limitations or downsides that they're not addressing?
Yeah, that's a great point. So that's the main points of this Shelf Corporation funding program. Guaranteed funding, 3-bucket money system, free if you jump through the right hoops. It's definitely a compelling pitch. What's your gut reaction so far? Are you feeling those skeptical alarm bells ringing?
I'm definitely proceeding with caution. It's like they're presenting this, like shortcut to success. But we all know the real path to building a sustainable business is rarely a straight line.
That's a great point. And that's what I'm wondering. They're so focused on getting you this loan, but is that really like the end-all be-all? Shouldn't the priority be figuring out if your business idea even has legs? If it can actually make money and thrive in the long run.
You're hitting on a crucial point they conveniently kind of gloss over. Securing funding is great, but it's a means to an end, not the end goal itself.
Right.
What good is a loan if you're just pouring it into a business that's fundamentally flawed?
It's like putting a fancy high-powered engine in a car with no steering wheel. You might get some initial speed, but you're headed for a crash.
Exactly. A sustainable business is built on a foundation of solid market research, a compelling value proposition, and a clear path to profitability. Funding without those core elements is like building a house on sand.
Okay, that makes total sense. So even if this Shell Corporation program gets you the cash, it's not actually a guarantee of long-term success. What are some other ways entrepreneurs can approach funding that maybe address those, core business fundamentals a bit more?
Well, let's look beyond the loan-centric world that this video kind of paints. There's equity financing, for example. So instead of taking on debt, you're actually finding investors who believe in your vision and are willing to provide capital in exchange for a piece of the eye, a percentage of ownership in your company.
Oh, I see. So it's like bringing on partners who are not only financially invested, but also have a vested interest in seeing your business succeed.
Exactly. And often these investors bring more than just money to the table.
Oh, like what?
They can offer valuable expertise, connections, and guidance, especially if you choose strategic partners who align with your industry or target market.
That's a great point. And what about grants? Aren't those essentially free money that you don't have to pay back?
Right. Grants can be a fantastic source of funding, especially for businesses focused on social impact or innovation. But they're highly competitive, often with very specific requirements and eligibility criteria. It's not just free money falling from the sky.
So it's not as simple as filling out a form and waiting for a check to arrive.
No, not quite.
There's real work involved. You got to make sure your business actually aligns with the grant's objectives and, craft a really compelling application that's going to stand out from the crowd.
Absolutely. It requires, research, a solid understanding of your business's strength, and the ability to really articulate your value proposition clearly and persuasively.
Okay, you're making me realize there's like a whole world of funding options out there, each with its own, nuances and considerations. And then, of course, there's the good old-fashioned bootstrapping method.
Ah, yes, the ultimate test of entrepreneurial grit. Bootstrapping essentially means funding your business, using your own resources, starting lean, reinvesting profits, and growing organically. It might take longer to scale, but it allows you to, maintain full control and avoid the pressures of debt or outside investors.
It's like building something from the ground up with your own bare hands.
Exactly.
It's challenging, but there's a certain satisfaction that comes with knowing you did it on your own terms.
Absolutely. Bootstrapping forces you to be, resourceful, to prioritize, and to get creative with your solutions. And for many entrepreneurs, that sense of ownership and independence is, it's priceless.
Okay, so let's circle back to this Shelf Corporation program for a moment. Even though they mentioned that FTC audit, something still feels a bit off. It all seems so streamlined, like almost like a one-size-fits-all solution. Doesn't that raise some red flags for you?
Yeah, it's wise to be cautious. Every business is unique, facing its own set of challenges and opportunities. So, a standardized approach, while appealing in its simplicity, might not be the best fit for everyone. It's like trying to squeeze into a pair of shoes that are the wrong size. They might look good on the surface, but, they're going to pinch and cause pain in the long run.
So before you jump at a seemingly easy solution, it's important to take a step back and really assess your specific needs, your goals, and your risk tolerance.
Exactly.
Because what works for one entrepreneur might be disastrous for another.
Absolutely. And this is where seeking advice from, trusted professionals like accountants, lawyers, and mentors becomes invaluable. They can provide objective perspectives, help you navigate the complexities of funding, and ultimately, empower you to make decisions that really align with your long-term vision.
It's like having a team of experienced guides helping you navigate a treacherous jungle. They've been there before. They know the pitfalls to avoid, and they can, help you chart a course to success.
That's a great analogy. They can also challenge your assumptions, offer alternative viewpoints, and help you develop a more comprehensive understanding of the risks and rewards involved in different funding strategies.
Now, I'm curious about those daily deposits they mentioned. How does that actually work? Is it just free money magically appearing in your bank account?
Well, I wouldn't say magic, but the details are certainly worth, scrutinizing. It's crucial to understand the source of those funds, the terms of their use, and any associated fees or obligations. Are they essentially loans disguised as deposits? Are there strings attached that could, impact your financial flexibility down the line?
Right. It's not just a generous gift. There's probably some, fine print involved, some conditions that need to be met. It reminds me of those, free trial offers that end up costing you a fortune if you're not careful.
Exactly. There's no such thing as a free lunch, especially in the world of business.
Right.
It's always about understanding the, value exchange, the quid pro quo.
Mm-hmm.
What are you giving up in return for those seemingly free deposits?
This brings up another thought. The video is all about becoming fundable to get a loan, but they barely even touch on the actual work of building a sustainable and profitable business. Is that even part of their equation?
That's a glaring omission that speaks volumes. While securing funding is an important step, it's only one piece to the puzzle. You need a solid business model, a strong team, a product or service that people actually want, and effective marketing and sales strategies to bring it all together. Funding alone won't magically solve those challenges.
So it's not enough to just get the money. It's about what you do with it, how you build a business that can stand on its own 2 feet and actually generate revenue, not just rely on borrowed funds.
Exactly. Funding can be a powerful catalyst for growth, but it's not a magic wand. It takes vision, strategy, execution, and a whole lot of hard work to turn an idea into a thriving, profitable enterprise.
Okay, I'm starting to get the bigger picture here. This Shelf Corporation program might be a viable option for some entrepreneurs, but it's not, the be-all, end-all solution. It's a tool, one of many in the entrepreneur's toolbox.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And remember, the most important tool in that toolbox is your own critical thinking, your ability to assess your unique needs, evaluate options objectively, and make informed decisions that align with your long-term goals.
This deep dive has been like a real eye-opener. We've gone from guaranteed funding to exploring a whole universe of funding options and the crucial elements of building a sustainable business. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion, revealing more complexity and nuance with each layer.
That's a great analogy. And remember, entrepreneurship is a journey of continuous learning, adapting, and evolving. There's always more to, discover, more to understand, and more to achieve.
So even if this Shelf Corporation program isn't the perfect fit, there are countless other paths to pursue. Ultimately, success is about finding the path that resonates with your vision and your values.
Beautifully put. And remember, the true reward of entrepreneurship isn't just about, financial gains. It's about the personal growth, the impact you create, the legacy you leave behind. That's what makes the journey worthwhile.
This conversation has sparked so many thoughts and questions. What final nuggets of wisdom do you have for our listener as they kind of navigate the often complex world of business funding?
Well, I would say don't be afraid to ask questions, to challenge assumptions, and to seek multiple perspectives.
Hmm.
Knowledge is power, and the more informed you are, the better equipped you'll be to make sound decisions. Don't just take someone's word for it, especially when it comes to your financial future.
So it's like being a detective, gathering clues, connecting the dots, and ultimately solving the mystery of how to fund your dreams.
I love that. And remember, the most successful entrepreneurs are the ones who never lose their curiosity, who are constantly learning and adapting, and who never stop asking, why?
Fantastic advice. Speaking of why, let's circle back to this video's central premise for a moment. They're laser focused on getting you that loan, but it almost feels like they're skipping a step. Shouldn't the primary focus be on whether your business idea is actually, viable and has the potential to succeed in the first place? Yeah, it's like they're handing you this shiny new shovel, but they don't even tell you what you're digging for, or if there's, anything worthwhile buried in the ground.
It's like they're so focused on the mechanics of, getting the money that they just completely neglect that crucial step of validating the business idea itself.
Totally. It's almost like they're assuming every entrepreneur has this $1 million idea just waiting for that injection of cash to take off.
Right. Which, let's be real, isn't always the case. Securing funding is important, but it really should be, a means to an end, not the end goal in itself. A truly sustainable business is built on that foundation of, solid market research, a compelling value proposition, and a clear path to profitability.
It's like building a house, right? You wouldn't just run out and get a massive mortgage without first having blueprints, making sure the land is even suitable, and knowing you have a realistic budget.
Exactly. Funding is, fuel that propels your business forward, but you need that well-designed engine and a clear destination to make that journey worthwhile.
This makes me think about all those cautionary tales of entrepreneurs who secured massive funding rounds but ultimately just failed because their idea wasn't sound or the execution was flawed.
Right. It's like a classic case of mistaking money for success. Funding can amplify your chances of success for sure, but it can also magnify your mistakes if those, fundamentals are in place.
It's like having a powerful sports car, right? It can get you to your destination really quickly, but if you don't actually know how to drive, you're more likely to just crash and burn.
I love that analogy. It really highlights the importance of developing those, skills, the knowledge, the strategies that are necessary to navigate those complexities of actually running a business. You need to be able to steer, to adjust to those, changing conditions and make those informed decisions along the way.
This deep dive has really kind of shifted my perspective. It's not just about chasing funding. It's about building a business that's actually worthy of that funding, a business that solves a real problem, provides genuine value, and has the potential to, create a lasting impact.
And that's where the true excitement of entrepreneurship lies, and the challenge of creating something meaningful, something that makes a difference in the world. And funding is simply a tool to help you achieve that vision.
It's like the difference between simply wanting to be rich and wanting to build something that leaves a positive mark on the world.
Exactly. The former is driven by, ego, while the latter is fueled by purpose. And in my experience, those purpose-driven businesses are the ones that tend to, attract not only funding, but also, those loyal customers, those passionate employees, and a lasting legacy.
Wow. This conversation has given me so much to think about. What final piece of advice which we'll leave our listeners with as they kind of embark on their entrepreneurial adventure?
I would encourage them to embrace the journey, to celebrate those wins, to learn from those setbacks, and to never stop pursuing those passions. Building a business is a marathon, not a sprint, and it requires resilience, adaptability, and an unwavering belief in yourself and your vision.
What an inspiring note to end on. This has been a truly illuminating deep dive, and I feel empowered to approach business funding with a more informed and discerning eye.
And remember, you're not alone on this journey. There's a whole community of entrepreneurs, mentors, and resources out there ready to support you every step of the way.
So, to our listeners, we say, go forth, build your dreams, and remember, the most valuable investment you can make is in yourself and your own growth. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Like they're handing you the keys to a brand new factory. But they forgot to mention there's no assembly line, no raw materials. And, oh yeah, they have no idea what you're supposed to be manufacturing.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost as if they're saying, hey, here's a bunch of money, go figure it out.
Right.
Which is, I mean, obviously a recipe for disaster a lot of times.
Totally. And it brings us back to that, fundamental question. Is your business idea even viable in the first place?
Exactly. Like, you wouldn't just, build a rocket ship without first figuring out, like, where it's going to go, right?
Right.
And making sure that it could actually, withstand the journey.
So before you even think about funding, you need to, validate your idea, make sure it solves a real problem for real people.
Absolutely. And that it has the potential to, generate real revenue.
Otherwise, you're just, setting yourself up for disappointment.
Yeah, a lot of heartache. And probably an empty bank account.
This deep dive has really, driven home that point. Funding is important, but it's just one piece of the puzzle.
Like one ingredient in a much larger recipe.
Exactly. And if the other ingredients are missing, the whole thing falls apart.
No matter how much money you throw at it.
So to our listeners out there, chasing that entrepreneurial dream, remember, don't get so caught up in securing funding that you forget to build a solid foundation for your business.
That's right. Validate your idea. Do your market research. Build a great team.
And make sure you're solving a problem that people actually care about.
Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to lead to lasting success.
Well said. This has been another insightful deep dive, and I, for one, feel much more equipped to navigate the world of business funding with, both eyes wide open.
Yeah, and remember, it's a journey. There are going to be ups and downs. But if you stay focused on your vision and surround yourself with the right people, you can achieve incredible things.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time. CAI.